Now, working out is hard work, but it's nothing like leaving your war-torn home to travel thousands of kilometers to find refuge in another country. It's the plight of very many people around the world right now, and the topic of many a conversation, one which we're going to join on Hot Button.
Welcome to another episode of Hot Button. Today we're discussing the refugee situation. I'm an immigrant here in Canada, so I'll ask Nancy, what do you think about refugees in Canada?
I have absolutely no problem whatsoever with refugees coming to Canada. If I had any issues, that would be with the government, not with the refugees themselves.
Oh, what kind of issues do you have with the government?
Well, take the medical issue for example. One thing I'm worried about is whether or not refugees get priority over Canadians in some areas. Like if, for example, if they had to have an echocardiogram, would they be bumped up ahead of Canadians already waiting? And I know in BC that the waiting list can be up to at least a year. I'm on the list, so that's why I know. So I can't help but wonder.
Yes, and it's very true. I mean, any sort of specialist appointment in BC takes a really long time. My partner has been waiting for one for over a year now. So me and Nancy looked up very quickly on the internet what kind of information we could find about this medical issue. And the only thing we could find was an infographic by Immigrant Services Society of BC, which told us that there was going to be a primary health care screening for all refugees during the so-called phase 1, the initial reception. And then if someone was sick, then they would be transferred to a hospital.
Interesting. It's not as involved as I thought it was. Now, I've spoken to other seniors, and we sometimes feel that as if we are not as important as the refugees, that our needs are being put aside. But I personally don't put that blame on the refugees. I'm aware that many people do blame them. For instance, as I scroll through my Facebook feed, I'm seeing friends posting articles claiming that refugees get more money than seniors get. So if it's true, it's totally unfair. But that lets the government off the hook if we're blaming the refugees. Now I'm curious, Brunella, when you came to Canada, did you face any of these issues?
Well, I mean, I came to Canada as a regular immigrant, not a refugee, so my situation was slightly different, and I moved to Toronto, where there were lots of free medical clinics that I could access. I think it would have been different if I was here in BC with MSP and everything, but in Toronto I felt really grateful and privileged as well, yes, to be able to access all the services. But although I was pretty displaced, as most immigrants are, I think it's quite different to be a refugee and coming from a war, or to be running away from another life-threatening situation.
I would imagine so. But whether or not refugees are given special treatment, I'm always amazed at how people want to blame them. Things are posted on Facebook, then some people will repost that. Where did these stories originate in the first place? When you come across those items before reposting, maybe just look into the facts. You can always contact our MLA to find out whether or not it's true. I did. I remember a number of years ago reading something on Facebook. I don't recall what it was about. I think it had something to do with immigrants getting something financial, benefiting them. That would have been totally unfair. So I sent that post to our MLA, and I asked him if it was true. And then he came back and answered that no, it wasn't true. So it's always important to check your facts.
Yes, especially if you've read those facts on Facebook.
Now, to change the subject, how long have you lived in Canada?
Well, I've been here for over 15 years now, and I feel very Canadian, but I don't have a problem with any refugee coming here, or any immigrant for that matter. I mean, how far back are we going to go? Because if we really go back, unless we're Aboriginal, we were all immigrant here at some point. And for one reason or another, we all came here looking for a better place, for a better home, and fortunately we did not have to endure such a horrific trip like the Syrian refugees have to.
Good point. I wouldn't want to trade places with the refugee, that's for sure. I think in some ways, so many of us are used to putting the blame onto others. Any privileges or special treatment given to any group, no matter who it is, that comes from our government. Whether you disagree with that or not, it's not fair to take it out on the refugee themselves. It seems completely unfair and un-Canadian. Would you agree?
I agree. I think we should help anyone in need, no matter where they're from, whether they're from our own town, country, or from another place. I mean, after all, we're all people. When we need something, we all want the same thing. We need comfort. We need refuge. I mean, would you host or sponsor a refugee?
I'm not in a position to sponsor a refugee. As for hosting, I have a tiny 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. So maybe short term, but I think long term would be difficult. How about you? How do you feel about the refugees? Do you have an opinion one way or the other? Let us know right here on Shaw or Facebook. And don't forget, we are on YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Hot Button.